You ever get that gut feeling that something's off? Like something happened when you weren't around? And I'm not talking about some paranoid, overthinking type vibe. I mean that sharp, cold instinct that hits you in the chest and whispers, bro, you're not the only one. That feeling isn't random. It's not just insecurity. Sometimes your instincts are the only honest thing left in the room. So if you're watching this right now, sit tight, because I'm about to break down the 6 signs. The real signs, not the TikTok fairy tale ones, that she was with another man last night. And trust me, once you hear these, you're gonna look at everything differently. Don't say I didn't warn you. ETs get this straight right from the jump. Women don't cheat like men do. Men cheat sloppy, messy, impulsive. Women cheat quietly, with planning, with emotional insulation, with backup excuses already loaded like a playlist. If she stepped out on you, there's going to be some tiny cracks in her behavior the next morning. And those cracks, that's where the truth leaks out. So pay attention, because these signs are subtle, but once you know what to look for, you can't unsee it. The first thing you need to understand is this. When a woman cheats, her energy changes before anything physical gives her away. Her vibe, her tone, the way she looks at you, even the rhythm of her breathing shifts. You can feel it before you can explain it. And the worst part? Sometimes you start blaming yourself. Maybe she's just tired. Maybe she's stressed. Maybe I'm tripping. Nah, bro. Your instincts aren't dumb. They're not imaginary. They're reacting to something your logical mind hasn't decoded yet. That's why these signs matter. Here's the first sign, and honestly, this one hits different because it's so easy to ignore. She wakes up way too calm, way too happy, way too light. Women who did something they know you wouldn't be okay with, they don't wake up stressed. They wake up peaceful, giggly, soft, almost relieved. And it's not because of you, it's because she already got the attention, validation, and whatever else she was craving the night before. Suddenly, she's sweet. Good morning, babe. Suddenly, she's making you breakfast. Suddenly, she's affectionate in a way she hasn't been in weeks. When guilt hits some women, they overcorrect. They turn into the version of themselves you wish they always were. But only for a moment, because it's not real. It's guilt wrapped in kindness. And if she's acting extra perfect out of nowhere, trust me, something isn't adding up. But the opposite can happen too. Some women don't get soft after cheating. They get cold, emotionally distant, barely talking, barely looking at you, laying in bed like she's replaying something in her mind that has nothing to do with you. And you feel that wall instantly. You touch her, and she shifts away. You make a joke and she forces a smile. She's not mad at you. She's guilty, confused, and emotionally checked out. Her body is next to you, but her mind is in another man's apartment replaying whatever happened last night. That emotional distance is not random. The next sign is physical, and it's wild how men don't pay attention to this because they're not wired to. If she comes home the next day smelling different, I'm talking about hair products she doesn't own, cologne she doesn't use, or a weird mix of sweat and perfume that doesn't match where she said she was, that's not nothing. Women are extremely smell conscious. They're very intentional about how they present themselves. If she smells off, and she's weirdly defensive about it, bro, connect the dots. A lot of women will try to hide this by showering immediately. And it's not the shower that's suspicious. It's the urgency. If she walks in the house acting completely normal, but then beelines straight to the bathroom like she's running from a crime scene, that's a red flag. Women don't urgently scrub themselves unless they're trying to erase evidence, physical or emotional. And we're not even talking about makeup yet. Bro, if she barely wore makeup last night but somehow woke up with freshly blended foundation, smudged eyeliner that wasn't smudged when she left, or lip gloss that wasn't the one she left the house with, somebody touched her face. Somebody kissed her neck. Somebody messed up her look. And women never pretend they don't remember. They remember everything, especially what they look like. So if her makeup story isn't matching her appearance, you're not crazy. You're catching her slipping. Now let's talk about the phone. The phone is the real battlefield. If she was with another man, her phone habits change instantly. She'll hide it, flip it down, turn off notifications, or take it with her everywhere like it's a newborn baby. She will protect that phone harder than her own heart. And you're gonna notice something new. She's suddenly texting quieter, tilting the screen away from you, responding faster to certain messages, keeping the phone face down even when there's nothing to hide, unless there is something to hide. And bro, watch this one closely. If she suddenly deletes messages the next morning, I don't mean one or two, I mean entire threads. Or she turns her phone off for privacy, for peace, for me time. Or she says, I don't want to be on my phone today, when she's normally glued to that thing. Don't let that slide. That's cleanup mode. That's digital guilt. That's someone covering tracks. Another sign that hits harder than people admit is the clothing switch. Women are extremely consistent with their favorite pieces. They know exactly what they wore, why they wore it, and how they looked in it. But if she comes home wearing something different, claiming she changed at a friend's house, or suddenly her clothes smell like someone's house you don't know, that's not friend stuff. Women do not change outfits randomly unless a situation required it, and that situation usually involves another man. If she also comes back with her hair styled differently, or noticeably messier, or smelling like someone else's environment, your chest is going to feel tight for a reason. And here's the one sign that guys don't talk about, but it's one of the clearest. Her attitude switches from clingy to independent overnight. A woman who stepped out on you doesn't need your attention the next morning. Her vibe feels satisfied. She's not chasing validation because she got validation already. She's suddenly chill, unbothered, emotionally full. And that's weird because the day before, she wanted affection. Now she doesn't. That shift isn't natural. Something filled the gap. Now let's talk about the conversations she avoids. If she was with another man, she won't ask you about your night. She won't tell you details about hers. She won't talk about where she was or who she was with. She'll stay vague on purpose because specifics expose lies. And here's the crazy part. If you ask simple questions, how was your night? What did you guys do? She'll give short, quick answers. Answers that end the conversation instead of expanding it. And if you push a little more, she gets irritated. Not because you're wrong, because you're getting too close to the truth. Women get defensive when they're hiding something. Men get distant. Women get irritated. If she suddenly gets emotional, angry, or tries flipping it on you, why are you acting insecure? Then you already know what's up. And bro, if she flips it and says things like, why don't you trust me? Why are you acting weird? Why do you care so much? She's not defending herself. She's defending her lie. Another deep sign is in the intimacy. Women who were with another man either avoid you sexually the next morning, or they go the complete opposite and get extra freaky. Both are signs. If she avoids intimacy, she feels guilty or emotionally attached to whoever she was with. If she suddenly wants to be all over you, aggressively, that's guilt energy. It's a distraction. It's her trying to reset the connection so you don't question anything. Both extremes are red flags. Pay attention to sudden behavior swings. Here's one that hurts but needs to be said. She hides her eyes. Women tell lies with their faces, but you can see the truth in their eyes. If she can't make eye contact the next morning, if she's darting her eyes around, blinking too much, or acting overly focused on random objects, she's avoiding giving you access to her guilt. Women who are loyal look you in the eyes naturally. Women who stepped out avoid it like it burns. And here's something psychological most guys don't know. Cheating creates emotional confusion for women. So the next morning, they're quiet, lost in their head, almost disconnected from reality. They might even be nicer to you because guilt hits them harder than men. Women aren't emotionless creatures. They feel what they did. They just won't confess it. So that weird kindness, that sudden politeness, that random affection, it's not love. It's a silent apology she will never say out loud. Another big sign, and this one is almost always accurate, is inconsistency in her story. She'll tell you she was at one friend's place, then later she forgets that detail and switches the name. Or she said she was at dinner, but suddenly she mentions being at someone's apartment. Or she says her phone died, but somehow she was posting on Instagram. These inconsistencies aren't accidents. They are the leftovers of a night she's trying to rewrite. If she avoids sharing her location like she normally does, or she was off the grid for hours, or she didn't answer even though she's usually super responsive, bro, don't ignore that. Women don't go missing unless there's a reason. And if she gives you excuses like my phone wasn't working, I fell asleep, I forgot, or I didn't see your calls, those are the classics. Those are the cheat codes to lying. Men have heard these lines for centuries. Now let's get real. You're not watching this video because you want to catch her. You're watching this because something already feels wrong. Something already feels off. And the saddest part, the moment a man starts noticing signs that she was with someone else, it's already too late. Because loyalty doesn't leave hints. Loyalty is clean. Loyalty is consistent. Loyalty doesn't trigger your intuition. The truth is, she didn't just cheat that night. It started long before, emotionally, conversations, flirting, energy shifting. Women don't cheat out of nowhere. They cheat when they're already halfway gone, and you can feel that long before the physical signs show up. That's why this hits so hard. But here's the thing. You're not crazy for noticing these signs. You're not insecure. You're not paranoid. You're aware. You're paying attention. And that's what men are taught not to do. Society tells men to ignore their feelings, to trust her, to never question her behavior. But no, your gut is a survival system. It's not insecurity, it's instinct. And if these signs match what you're seeing, it's time to wake up. Let's go deeper into her behavior after she thinks she got away with it. Some women become extra controlling of the narrative. They start forcing the story. They overshare useless details. They talk too much. They try to fill every gap with explanations you didn't ask for. That's a sign of guilt. When someone is telling the truth, they keep it simple. When someone is hiding something, they talk like they're trying to paint over cracks with too many words. Other women do the opposite. They stay silent because they're trying not to slip up. They're trying to hold the lie tightly. They're scared if they talk too much, the truth will slide out. Silence can be just as loud as oversharing. Don't get fooled. You might even catch her randomly smiling at her phone the next morning. Not because of you, but because she's thinking about something she shouldn't. Or she's posting extra content online to cover her tracks, pretending she was somewhere else. Women cheat emotionally, socially, digitally, and physically. It's layers deep. Another thing, she suddenly becomes protective of her friends. If you ask, were you with Sarah? She goes, why does it matter? Or stop questioning my friends. Guilty women defend their friend group more than themselves. Why? Because the lie depends on those friends backing her story. If the friends fall, the lie falls. That's why she gets emotional when you ask anything about them. And bro, watch for that soft, distant smile, the one she gives when she's looking out the window or scrolling on her phone. That's not a smile for you. That's a memory replay. That's her reliving something she shouldn't be reliving. People don't smile at nothing. They smile at reminders. You might also notice she's less irritated by things that usual. I annoy her. Like suddenly she doesn't care if you're gaming. Suddenly she's not mad that you didn't text back. Suddenly she's calm about everything. That's emotional detachment. It means her emotional fulfillment is coming from somewhere else now. Someone else. She might also forget small things, like plans with you, inside jokes, things you normally share. When a woman's emotional energy shifts to another man, she unconsciously pulls it away from you. Her attention, her memory, her interest, all of it starts fading. And you feel the slow disconnect like a cold wind. And then there's the ultimate sign. She doesn't feel guilty around you anymore. The first few times she cheats, you'll see it all over her. The guilt, the nervousness, the sweet behavior. But if these signs keep repeating and she stops acting guilty, that means she crossed a line mentally and emotionally. She's justified it in her head. She doesn't see you the same anymore. And when a woman stops caring about your reaction, the relationship is already over. She just hasn't told you yet. Look, this video isn't meant to make you paranoid. It's meant to open your eyes. Because a lot of men are walking around blind, ignoring signs that are right in front of them. Not because they're dumb, but because they love too hard. And when a man loves deeply, he doesn't want to believe the truth. He'd rather suffer in silence than face reality. But here's the truth nobody wants to admit if you're seeing multiple signs on this list. She didn't slip up. She made a choice. And you deserve to know that. You deserve honesty. You deserve loyalty. You deserve someone who respects you when you're not in the room. So don't let her gaslight you. Don't let her flip the script. Don't let her make you doubt your instincts. Pay attention to patterns. Pay attention to energy. Pay attention to the things she thinks you want. Notice, because that's where the truth always hides. And once you see the signs, don't unsee them. Don't ignore them. Protect your peace. Protect your self-respect. And most importantly, don't stay loyal to someone who treats loyalty like an option. Because if she was with another man last night, trust me, bro, the signs are already there. You just have to be brave enough to see them